Once, life spoke to us in ways we understood. Birds sang and we listened. Flowers bloomed and we noticed. The city wasn't just a place, it was a palette of colors, a canvas of stories. We talked, we shared, we learned, and with every sunrise, we grew. Not by the ticking of a clock, but by the rhythm of life itself. But now, what has changed? The rush, the race, the never ending chase for more. We wake up to alarms, not sunrises. Our lives have never been so busy. A whole lot of areas require our attention today, all at the same time. We are constantly plugged in, yet disconnected. The more we scroll, the more we feel left behind. The world is no doubt moving ever so fast, but are we really moving forward? Maybe what has changed is us. Once, the classroom was a place of focus, of learning, of presence. But today, even 10 minutes can feel like a marathon. Sounds relatable. As published in an article in the Time magazine way back in 2015, Microsoft conducted a study where it found the average human attention span to have dropped to 8 seconds. What is alarming is that this study was conducted 10 years ago. On platforms built for speed and stimulation, we are conditioned to crave constant novelty. Swipe, laugh, next. The brain gets a hit of dopamine, a chemical reward, each time something new pops up. But what is the cost of this constant stimulation? Reduced memory retention, difficulty in deep thinking, lower academic performance. Quite sad enough, students today struggle to stay focused even in silent rooms. Our minds weren't made to multitask at this scale. Each distraction leaves a residue, and every switch in attention makes it harder to return. We often talk about smartphones as tools for connection, but rarely do we speak of how they are rewiring our ability to think and focus. This isn't laziness, it's conditioning, and unfortunately, it's happening to all of us. Our lives have never been so busy. A whole lot of areas require our attention today, all at the same time. We are constantly plugged in, yet disconnected. The more we scroll, the more we feel left behind. This is our fear of missing out. A carefully crafted illusion that convinces us that someone, somewhere is living a better life than ours. The term fear of missing out or FOMO was introduced in 2004 and made its way to the Oxford Dictionary in 2013. It is now recognized as a psychological phenomena with wide-ranging effects on mental health, social life, academic performance, and physical well-being. FOMO is associated with anxiety, depression, and emotional distress, fueled by excessive social media use. Despite increasing social media interactions, FOMO exacerbates loneliness. It can lead to miscommunication, emotional dissatisfaction, and a weaker sense of belonging. But that isn't all. The blue light from screens disrupts melatonin production, affecting sleep cycles and thereby leading to insomnia. With excessive screen time, there is increase in risk of vision problems, decreasing attention span, and reducing cognitive abilities. But are we really that busy to not be able to detach from our screens for some time? Or are we just too bombarded with distractions that we no longer can decide on our priorities? Thus, driving into an endless loop of wrong choices that's taking away a major part of our life.
फोमो तो होता है यार, ये तो रोज होता है. एंड परहैप्स दैट्स द रीजन why our generation is there on social media all the time. So me, I got my first smartphone when I was in class 11th. Before that, I had the access to internet, and because of that, I opened my Facebook account when I was in class 5, 5th and 6th, and it was completely out of curiosity. My father had my internet hours restricted to 1 hour a day, and after that, when in my 10th, these were restricted to around 30 minutes a day. These restrictions stayed with me till I was there in school. But when I went to college and I was completely on my own, the drastic change I saw was that social media has become a part of my life. I'm posting each and every part of my day continuously on social media. But gradually, as time passed, I went to college, and it was the later half of my college, after like post COVID. Then I realized the ill effect of the social media and the smartphone addiction. I lost my attention when while doing any work around. I was always sleepy, even in my classes. Along with that, like my communication with other people also lacked. And I guess this is the major issue around here in our generation. In spite of knowing the ill effect of this whole thing, we are still there on the phones, because everything right now is on our phone, including social media to listening to music. We do it on our phones. Even to start a conversation with my friend, I have to use their lingo, the lingo which is used on internet. For example, if we take LOL, we don't laugh while we're typing LOL, but it's there and it says laughing out loud, but we are not laughing out loud. Like this thing, this lingo has changed a lot. And I guess this is the reason why I have recently shifted to a small feature phone. And this is one of my ways to curb the ill effect of smartphone and social media on me. I have removed myself from the entire social media. I don't use it anymore. It's just WhatsApp which I use, because I get the important information there. And you see, again WhatsApp, like again social media all over here. And I guess as time passes, this is going to be a very big issue. The way AI has also come into place right now, we have lost originality everywhere. Every other person who's submitting the assignment, it's the same with different colors. The content is the same. There is no creativity in it. Like before, when we used to do our projects with our hands and put it in those small files, those used to be so creative. Like, and there used to be that distinction that okay, this is the best project. But right now, it's just a submission thing. We go on internet, go on AI, and just get the things out that way. And I guess that is going to be a huge problem in the future.
In the age of connection, loneliness has found a new home in glowing screens and unanswered calls. Our devices were meant to bring us closer, but somewhere along the scroll, it began to redefine what it means to be enough. Beauty became a benchmark, a template. Validation turned into numbers. Emotions, once shared between hearts, have now spilled into text boxes read by programs, not people. So, we have turned into artificial listeners. Machines tell us we are beautiful. They show us a version of ourselves that finally feels worthy of attention. And for a moment, we feel seen, heard, held. But when machines begin to replace meaning, when comfort comes from code instead of connection, what part of us goes quiet? In seeking perfection, we risk losing the beauty of being real, of being flawed, of being human. This is not a crisis of technology, but a reflection of what we've forgotten being ourselves. It often starts small, a buzz, a ping, just a message. In the age of smartphones, peer pressure doesn't knock on the door, it sips quietly through a notification. Peer pressure isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a feeling, the fear of missing out, of being left behind, of not being part of it. Psychologists call it social conformity, a need hardwired into the adolescent brain. Teens spend over 7 hours a day online, constantly connected, constantly watching, constantly comparing, and even when they resist at first, the pressure doesn't stop. Studies show that teens are more likely to take risks when they're with peers. It's not always about wanting to do something. Sometimes it's about not wanting to be the only one who doesn't. One decision, one moment, not always forced, but always influenced. This is peer pressure, and in the digital age, it begins long before the first puff of smoke. And once we let ourselves go with the flow, we get caught up in the thrill, the fun, and not its consequences. The adrenaline rush, the validation, the attention becomes the fuel that feeds our brain. And in chasing the high, we forget the cost. And with one small mistake, our whole life stand at the risk of stumbling like a deck of falling cards. Careless riding habits contribute significantly to road accidents in India, leading to numerous fatalities and injuries. Factors like overspeeding, distracted driving, and failing to follow traffic rules are major culprits. Two wheelers, particularly motorcycles, are heavily involved in accidents due to factors like inattentiveness and speeding, according to a study from Mangalore, India.
हेलो। हाँ मैम। ठीक हूँ, आप कैसे हो? ठीक चल रही है। हम्म, कर रही हूँ।
Not all battles are loud. Sometimes they are quiet, fought between exam sheets and phone calls. And sometimes failure isn't just about grades, but about not meeting expectations. For many, each call from home isn't comfort, it's pressure wrapped in concern. Words meant to motivate often feel like weights. Depression doesn't always look like tears. Sometimes It's that invisible knot in the chest, the scream in a silent room, the ache of feeling like nothing is ever enough. For others, the void is filled differently. Tap, scroll, and buy. It's not always about the product. Sometimes it is about the momentary high. Impulsive buying has become a new coping mechanism. A recent study showed a sharp rise in online shopping linked to stress and anxiety, especially among young adults. The satisfaction is fleeting, but the cycle is constant. We don't pass emotions, but we pass on habits, patterns, distractions disguised as solutions. An average person touches their phone over 2,600 times a day. And for teenagers, it is often over 4,000 times. And while technology connects us to everything, it can quietly disconnect us from ourselves. Smartphones were never meant to be escape routes, but today they've become digital sedatives, dulling pain, delaying healing, and the more we scroll past our reality, the harder it becomes to live in it.
And when the scrolling stops, what remains? A hollowed hush sense of loneliness, a weight of comparison, and a doomed shadow of depression. And we have everything to make us happy, yet we are the most unhappy lot. And no doubt our dreams are getting bigger than ever, but we are covered in an umbrella of insecurities that's covering a view of the clear sky.
But the cages, even invisible ones, have doors, and the keys lie in our pockets, in our awareness of reclaiming our attention, our minds, and our lives. The internet, social media, and AI are not our enemies as such, but our relationship with them needs to change. And the first step to this is to look up.
पत्थर के हैं सब रास्ते परवाह नहीं धुंधले हैं चेहरे ख्वाब के परवाह नहीं चलनी है सीना रहने दो अब जो भी हो परवाह नहीं सन की हुआ जाता है दिल मन की किए जाता है दिल करके बेतहाशा ये बिजली हुआ जाता है दिल सन की हुआ जाता है दिल मन की किए जाता है दिल करके बेतहाशा ये बिजली हुआ जाता है दिल बादल में ढूंढे घोंसले पगला गए हैं हौसले गिर जाए या उड़े अब टूटे या जुड़े परवाह नहीं परवाह नहीं परवाह नहीं परवाह नहीं